Hey everyone, this is a quick video on the parts you'll need to turbo your BABF Falcon or an NA1. So first of all, you're going to need to get an exhaust system off an XR6 Turbo or a Typhoon or something. I managed to pick up a single 3.5 inch to twin 2.5 inch Herod system. Basically you want to get one like that so that it'll bolt up to the stock dump pipe. It just makes stuff a lot easier. So next up you're going to need a stock dump pipe, basically a factory one, and you just got to be aware that you see in these bits here, they don't always come with the studs. Mine only came with one, so I had to re-stud that myself. Yep, and then also along with your dump pipe you're going to need all your respective gaskets, your turbo gasket, your dump pipe gasket, and anything else like that. Along with those, you're going to need to make sure you have all your bolts, or your nuts, sorry, because they don't always come with them. Next up, also you're going to need a turbo manifold. It's got to be a B series one. I had the same deal there, I had to put new studs in. But yeah, so that will be exhaust side sorted. Onto the turbo. Now I've picked up a Chinese one, obviously, pretty much a GT3582 replica of basically what's on an XR6 Turbo. So yeah, they're cheap, so I'm going to give it a whirl, see what happens. You might notice on the back there, it's just holes and stuff, and that's not going to connect to the dump pipe very well, so you're going to have to get a stud and nut kit. I got this off eBay as well, so I'll just put them in the back of there and they'll be able to bolt up to that. And I also don't trust the Chinese Wastegate actuator, so I've went and gone ahead and got, if I can open the bloody box, well, you know what it is. It's a Turbosmart Wastegate actuator. This one's a 7 psi spring, so I'm going to have to put that on there. And also this turbo needs to be reclocked, because if you look, that's where it'll bolt on like this. The intake does not come up to the top, it comes out the bottom, so I have to put the new Wastegate actuator on and reclock that. Just be aware of that if you buy a Chinese turbo. Along with them, you'll need to get yourself an oil drain kit. Got one from Mumba. It's pretty cheap actually. They have all the bits to tap into your, well, not all the bits, but it's got the pieces so that you can tap and drill into the sump, and they go up to the oil drain on the turbo. And then you're going to need your oil feed line kit. I got another one from Mumba. Yeah, that goes straight into the end of the turbo. That goes up to the side of the block. Now what you'll need for the start to do your oil feed is, this is where I actually had to do a bit of research and messing around, but this is a 3/8 BSP T-piece. That's what you need. I've seen a lot of other people, well, they're all using this, but you're going to need a male flare AM4 to a 3SBP 3/8 or 3SBP. That one actually fits perfectly in there, but I've also seen people using this one, which is an AN flare 4 to an MPT, but this is a BSP adapter, which is what everyone seems to use. So I'm going to go with that one because I've seen this one used but with thread tape and stuff, so my advice is that one. And then also you're going to need, at a minimum, a hex 3/8 nipple BSP. I've got one of them. I've seen other people using these, but I managed to get these Chinese 3/8 adapters that just fit in here perfectly. These don't seem to screw in all the way, but they obviously work, so other people are using them, so you can use them, but I've gone for I've basically got all this here so I can test out which one will work perfectly. And that's pretty much your turbo, your oil feed, your oil drain, your boost sorted, and your exhaust. And I'll just move on to up in the engine bay. Now moving up into the engine bay, you're going to need a new set of spark plugs, or you can gap your own. You don't have to do this, but these are the ones that are pre-gapped to 0.8, which is what you want for a turbo model. BKR 6EIX-P. So 6 of them. You're going to need an FG XR6 turbo or FG turbo map sensor, because they're the only ones that bolt straight in without an adapter. So you can basically get all this stuff's pretty much on eBay. There's a part number if you guys want to have a quick look. And when you put that in, you're going to need obviously a new gasket for your throttle body. And also up in the engine bay there, you're going to need your turbo fuel pressure reg. Pretty sure that's 4 bar. That will do the job for the fueling. You don't have to change injectors. You don't have to change fuel pump. But I've decided to pick up a turbo one just to be sure, because I'd rather be safe than sorry. You don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. It's got a bit better litres per hour on it, so I've gone with the turbo fuel pump. And then you're going to move on to the piping. There's your turbo crossover pipe. I've got one of them, but I've also blocked off the blow-off valve slots. I've got another video on that one if you want to see what the parts are. And you're going to need this pipe here. It goes from the front of the turbo up to the here, or here. You don't need the other one because that comes in the intercooler kit that I'll show you. But also you will need this dongly little part. This goes into the crossover pipe, down into the top of the engine. These are actually quite expensive. This was $60 second hand. Had to get it from a wrecker. There is other ways to go about it, but that's the part. And yeah, I think they're 120 new. And then you've got to think about every single little clamp. You've got to measure, because obviously the piping doesn't come with clamps, and obviously you need to measure all your pipes, all your connections, and make sure you got everything, because obviously I needed this one for the throttle body, you need these ones for the piping for the turbo and whatnot, and these ones will come with the intercooler kit, which is what we move on to next. I picked up an intercooler kit, and then looking at all the piping, quickly realised that it's not everything you need there. You also need to get the hot side piping from the factory, which is this slot. So that'll, you know, I think that's a bit extra than what you actually need, but I picked up that just in case. And yeah, this is all the stuff you need to eBay turbo the BABF Falcon. One last thing to be aware of is BF Falcons have 2 O2 sensors, so you have to be aware of that when purchasing your exhaust. There is one last thing. To mount the front mount intercooler, you have to buy a turbo power steering cooler, which is this little shitty pipe. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Down in there, that is in the way, and I've seen people bypass it, but I don't know what the long-term results are. So you can bypass it, or you get this guy that mounts it high out of the way so you can do your intercooler. So I hope that helps some people out on getting some info on what you need if you want to do this yourself. Also, don't forget your normal service parts like oil and filter and power steering fluid. And yeah, good luck to anyone who wants to try and do it. Hopefully I'll film mine as much as I can. And just in case anyone's wondering, there is a few more bits over here for this thing. Gonna do something with them 20s for front runners. There's some gloss black wrap so I can fix that bonnet up. and there's some coilovers and some more seats for the back. So cheers for watching, have a good one.